How to know if your boyfriend is husband material. Part 2. Openness. I'm going to talk about openness in two forms: 1. Communication, and 2. Openness of mind and flexibility. 1. Communication. I've had friends who had found themselves in long-time committed relationships where, when they would try to talk about something serious, all their significant other could do was joke or shut down. A huge part of maturity and an essential part of a healthy relationship is being okay to talk seriously about things. They don't always have to be extremely deep or philosophical or difficult, but being able to take matters seriously is important. If you end up marrying a man who is not able to do that, you will end up feeling extremely emotionally lonely and never understood, and you will also feel extremely alone when hard times come around. Because you won't be able to talk about it with the one who should be closest to you. If you don't know if your significant other open to serious communication, try asking meaningful, open-ended questions. Listen to how he responds. Does he shrug the question off? Or is he intrigued and give a meaningful answer? Does he care that you're even asking? These are important things to pay attention to. 2. Openness of mind and flexibility. Earlier I mentioned that your significant other having an understanding of his principles and values, his worldview, is really important. And if you want to mesh well in a marriage, it's important that your worldviews are pretty similar. But just having a similar worldview is not going to make you agree on everything. Although Josh and I are both believers and love Jesus and have similar worldviews, we argue. We disagree on things. That's because we are still pretty different. This is where openness of mind and flexibility comes into play. Sometimes, I may initially disagree with Josh on something, but because I respect him, and I know I didn't marry an idiot, I'll listen to him. Sometimes he makes good points. Same goes for him. He knows that he needs my differing personality type to help balance him out, and he will be open to my ideas, and even criticism when he needs to hear it. Now it's not always that easy. Like anybody, we're prone to thinking we're right, and getting defensive when we're told we're not. It takes time to grow together. But if you keep the goal of working together and valuing each other, you'll be quicker to be flexible and open with one another. Now, this doesn't always end up super peachy. Sometimes compromise looks like one of you just giving in and trying again next time. That's going to happen, and that's okay. Not every decision is going to be a 50-50 compromise or win-/win situation. But that's where humility and respect come in. More on those in a second. Respect. Yes, you knew this would be in here somewhere. But I've spoken with many girls and women who, when the respect is gone, have a hard time actually noticing. What I mean by this is, when their partner doesn't value their opinion, for example, they assume the behavior is normal or deserved. Many times, when a woman finds herself in a relationship where she isn't respected, the respect will have diminished gradually, and often she will have been convinced that it is normal and or her fault. One thing that helps, if you're afraid of this happening to you, is to not compare, but observe others' relationships. Look at the relationships that you perceive as healthy. How did they talk to each other? How did they handle disagreements? If necessary, sit down with a trusted friend and ask her what she perceives as normal ways to handle conflict in a relationship. Many relationships don't become unhealthy or abusive overnight. They become that way by actions that gradually go unnoticed or unaddressed. That's not to say that every word of your partner needs to be analyzed and addressed. Choosing when to let things go is also important, but if there is a moment that happens and you feel disrespected, let your partner know how you feel and how they could handle the situation in a more positive and constructive way. If they truly respect you, they will be open to hearing your suggestion and hopefully changing their behavior. This is all if respect is actually an issue. Sometimes a boy's parents raised him right, and he knows from the get-go how to treat a woman. If you found a guy like that, good for you. But even the goodies will need help at times. Take note if a guy asks you, "What do you think?" Or "How do you feel about that?" I know, it seems too simple, but a man who values your thoughts and opinions will value you.